First up, the NDLEA is training more than 100 counselors to improve drug rehabilitation across the country. And while we're talking about improving lives, Lagos is working on infrastructure too, with a new road project underway in Ikorodu. Moving on to sports, ECHO 2026 now has an official website giving athletes and visitors access to updates about the games. And in athletics, Tobi Amusan has lost her world record after American Masai Russell set a new mark in the 100-meter hurdles. Hello and welcome to a live news update. I'm Khadija Ibrahim. We've got a mix of stories for you today, from drug rehabilitation and infrastructure to sports, politics, security, and entertainment. We'll bring you the details, including the latest on Tobi Amusan's world record, fresh political moves ahead of 2027, and the security situation in the north. Let's get started. First up, the NDLEA is training more than 100 counselors as it works to improve drug rehabilitation services across the country. The training is being held at the NDLEA Academy in Jos Plateau State and is coordinated by the Directorate of Counseling, Treatment and Rehabilitation. Representing NDLEA Chairman Muhammad Buba Marwa, the Director of Counseling, Treatment and Rehabilitation, Bashir Ibrahim, said the program will equip counselors with modern therapeutic skills and help standardize treatment across the agency's facilities. The training will also cover ethics, confidentiality, mental health, and data management. The NDLEA says it will continue investing in its personnel to improve rehabilitation outcomes and strengthen Nigeria's fight against drug abuse. And from drug rehabilitation, let's move to infrastructure in Lagos, where a new road project has begun in Ikorodu. The Lagos state government has started construction of the 670-meter Adebayo Akinade Road in Igbobobayeku, Ikorodu. The special advisor to Governor on Rural Development, Nuruddin Agbaje, said the project is part of efforts to extend infrastructure to rural communities, improve transportation, and reduce rural-urban migration. Agbaje also said Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has approved 6 similar road projects in Ajoremi Ifelodun and Ifelodun local government areas. The government is asking residents to cooperate with the contractor and protect the project from vandalism. Officials say the projects are expected to improve connectivity and create better opportunities for communities across the state. Now to sports, there is a new way to keep up with the ECHO 2026. Organizers of Lagos Maiden National Intermediate Games have launched the official website for the competition. The platform, echo2026.org, will provide updates about the games, including information for athletes and visitors. Chairman of the Media and Publicity Subcommittee, Benga Omotosho, said the website will also help first-time visitors learn more about Lagos and the competition. He said Lagos' experience hosting major sporting events puts the state in a strong position to deliver a successful ECHO 2026. The organizers say the digital platform will serve as a major source of information before and during the games. And staying with sports, Tobi Amusan has lost her world record in the women's 100-meter hurdles. American Olympic champion Masai Russell clocked 12.09 seconds at the Zurich Diamond League to break Amusan's 12.12 second record set at the 2022 World Championships. Amusan finished second in 12.23 seconds, her season's best, while Dutch athlete Nadine Visser came third in 12.34 seconds. Russell had previously run 12.14 seconds in May before improving her time in Zurich. The result ends Amusan's 4-year reign as world record holder, with Russell now at the top of the women's 100-meter hurdles. Now to entertainment, where Nigerian dancer and entertainer Poco Lee is facing 5 sexual offense charges in the United Kingdom. Snaresbrook Crown Court says the charges include 1 count of attempted rape, 2 counts of rape, and 2 counts of assault by penetration. The court has imposed a reporting restriction to protect the identity of the complainant under UK law. Pokoli is due back before the London court on September 15th for a plea and trial preparation hearing. His management has urged the public to avoid unverified claims, stressing that allegations are not evidence of guilt. The case remains before the court, and Pokoli has not been convicted of any offense. From entertainment, let's move to politics, where opposition parties are looking at ways to work together ahead of the 2027 presidential election. The G100 political movement has scheduled a summit in Abuja for August 31st to discuss possible cooperation among the ADC, PDP, SDP, APM, PRP, and NNPP. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and Labour Party figure Peter Obi are among the opposition figures expected to attend. G100 convener Salihu Lukman says the opposition must avoid repeating the 2023 experience when major opposition parties contested separately. The meeting is expected to explore a broader alliance as opposition groups look for a stronger challenge to President Bola Tinubu in 2027. And staying with developments at home, lawmakers are calling for stronger action over the continuing attacks and abductions in northern Nigeria. The House of Representatives Minority Caucus is urging President Bola Tinubu to take immediate action against terrorism, banditry, and kidnapping across the region. In a statement signed by the minority leader, Frederick Agbedi, the lawmakers cited recent attacks in Plateau, Niger, Sokoto, Kaduna, Katsina, and Borno states. They said the attacks have resulted in death, abduction, and the displacement of residents. The caucus wants the federal government to sustain intelligence-led security operations to reclaim territories controlled by terrorists and bandits and rescue abducted citizens. The lawmakers also called on President Tinubu to visit Zamfara and Lela to engage directly with communities affected by insecurity. While welcoming the recent increase in armed forces salaries, they urged the president to forward the necessary amendments to the 2026 Appropriation Act and a supplementary appropriation bill to the National Assembly. The caucus also called for the immediate release of former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai, describing his continued detention as increasingly resembling political persecution. The lawmakers say Nigerians need concrete action to address insecurity rather than condolences after attacks have occurred. And finally, for our local stories, the Works Ministry is taking action over a road project that has fallen far behind schedule. Works Minister David Umahi has ordered the arrest of the Managing Director of Heartland Nigeria Limited over an alleged failure to complete a 14 billion naira road contract. Umahi said Heartland was paid about 14 billion naira for an 11-kilometer section of the Benin-Onitsha Expressway in Delta State, but completed only about 40% of the project. The affected stretch runs from Summit Junction to Headbridge and includes drainage and hydraulic works. The minister also ordered an audit of the contractor's payments and certificates. Umahi directed officials to begin recovering funds paid to Heartland as authorities investigate how the project stalled. 11 people abducted by gunmen in Kogi State have been rescued by a joint security team. 9 of the victims are National Youth Service Corps members traveling to Abuja. The victims were kidnapped Wednesday after gunmen blocked 2 buses along the Aloma-Egane Expressway in Ofu local government area. Police said the attack happened around 4:40 p.m., forcing some passengers to flee into the bush, while others were taken hostage. The divisional police officer in Ofu led a joint team to the area after receiving a distress call. The operation recovered 2 abandoned buses and led to the rescue of the 11 victims, including both drivers. Police say the search continues in the surrounding forest for any remaining victims and the attackers. And that takes us to our foreign news, where we begin with a loss that will be felt by generations of animation fans. The voice behind one of animation's most recognizable characters, Optimus Prime, is dead. Canadian voice actor Peter Cullen, best known for voicing Optimus Prime in Transformers, has died at the age of 85. Cullen died Wednesday at his home in Los Angeles after a decades-long career in film and television. He voiced Optimus Prime from the original 1984 animated series through several Transformers films. He was also widely known for voicing Eeyore in Winnie the Pooh. Peter Cullen's distinctive voice helped make Optimus Prime an iconic character for generations of Transformers fans, leaving behind a celebrated legacy in animation and voice acting. China warns of possible second major flood. China is warning of a high risk of another major flood after a lake formed near the Nepal-Tibet border. Chinese authorities say the lake is now overflowing, raising concerns that its natural barrier could give way and send millions of cubic meters of water downstream. Officials expect about 3 million cubic meters of additional water to enter the lake over the next 3 days. The warning comes after a devastating flash flood in the region that killed hundreds of people and left many others missing. Authorities on both sides of the border are monitoring the situation and preparing for possible further flooding. Rescue efforts are continuing while residents in vulnerable areas have been urged to remain alert as authorities monitor the risk of a second flood. And that's a wrap on this edition of a live news update, from the stories making headlines in politics and security to developments in sports. We'll keep bringing you the information you need to stay informed. Thank you for watching. I'm Khadija Ibrahim. Have a great day.